Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to TAN. I am your host, Josh again, and today we have some very interesting topics, as always, and we're going to go ahead and jump into them now with our minor topics. Alright, first off in minor topics, I literally just found this out. Not only is, well, this is not that new, but there has been talks of a Twisted Metal TV show in the works. I believe it may or may not be on Netflix. But apparently, Sweet Tooth has been cast. It's Will Arnett. And I genuinely do not know how to react to that. Will Arnett allegedly has been cast for the role of Sweet Tooth, the poster boy of the Twisted Metal franchise. And apparently, Anthony Mackie has been offered a role, and Kumail Nanjiani, I don't know who that is, has been considered for roles in the show. Which, if Anthony Mackie's in the show, that'd be cool. But Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth. Again, I don't know how to wrap my head around that. It's going to be interesting to see. And also, for those of you that don't know, I'm very curious about how this is going to go. Because, again, as I'm not sure how many people remember this, there was a Twisted Metal movie in the works for quite some time. But that never really went anywhere, and that was canceled. And pretty much the last we've ever heard of Twisted Metal was, there was the Twisted Metal 2012 game, which I absolutely love for the PS3. And after that, there was the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royal, or I can't remember what year that game came out, but PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royal for PS3 had Sweet Tooth in it as a playable character, because he was an iconic character from PlayStation, from Sony. So, the Twisted Metal TV show, and I remember that they had directors from a previous TV show or something like that, but I can't remember who the directors are. But it's in the works, and hopefully something will actually come of this, unlike the movie where nothing ever happened and it just fizzled away until they're like, oh yeah, we're not doing the movie. Which absolutely disappointed me, because I love Twisted Metal. It's one of my favorite video game franchises, and I would love to see it. I would love to see it on the silver screen, but seeing it on the miniature screen would also be fine. And if it's on Netflix, I think it's on Netflix. I know I'll get into Netflix later, but Netflix is really trying hard to win me over. But we shall see. So hopefully the Twisted Metal TV show will be good. Up next for minor topics, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie has been given an official release date, April 8th, 2022. So we're going to have to wait a little over a year for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to come out. And on Twitter, the Sonic or Sega Twitter account, I wouldn't know because, remember, I've been permanently suspended from Twitter. They put out a mini hype trailer where it was just the logo of the movie, the movie logo with the 2, and the 2 has 2 tails on the end of it, which of course that means tails. If you haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog movie, spoilers, I guess. You're only a little late to the party. Tails had a cameo at the very end of the movie in the post-credits scene, and it was pretty much setting him up for being in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, which makes sense because Tails was in the Sonic 2 video game. That's where he first appeared. So we have an official release date for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I'm so excited about it. I really hope that whatever they do with Sonic and Tails, I'm probably going to like. Tails has never really been one of my favorite characters, but I'm excited to see what they do. I kind of hope they lean into the rivalry between Sonic and Knuckles in the movie, because in the first movie they established that the echidnas are what drove Sonic from his home in the first movie. So I think it would be awkward if they had the second movie just be the Sonic and Tails versus Eggman movie, and then in the third movie, they're like, oh, remember in the first movie how echidnas were bad? Well, now we have Knuckles, and they're going to feud over something in the first movie. So it's going to... I don't want the second movie to kind of be like filler. Because if they're doing what I think they're doing, they're trying to follow the video games, and that means we're not going to see Knuckles until Sonic 3. So, again, we'll just have to see. I still really, really, really badly want to see Shadow the Hedgehog on the big screen, but we're probably not going to get that for a while. Because again, Shadow is my favorite character. He's my favorite character from the Sonic series and one of my favorite video game characters ever. But again, speaking of Sonic, a Netflix show has been announced, a Sonic Prime, which I know, other than the fact that it's called Sonic Prime and it's going to be on Netflix, I know literally nothing about this show. And yet again, as I mentioned earlier, Netflix is really trying to win me over, because if the Twisted Metal show is on Netflix and Sonic Prime is on Netflix and they're both good, God, and plus there was anyone else remember when there was supposed to be another animated Devil May Cry show that was supposed to be on Netflix? Does anyone else remember that? They're really, really trying. They're reaching into my soul, trying to drag me into liking Netflix, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's making me very contemplative. So yeah, be looking forward to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic Prime, which again, I know very little about Sonic 2. But our next minor topic, the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer dropped yesterday. And they dropped a teaser trailer a couple months ago when they announced, oh, guess what, we're doing the Snyder Cut, and everyone went insane. I've never really cared that much about the Snyder Cut. I just knew that was a talking point on the internet as far as like DC and comic books were concerned. But I was always like, if that's a thing that exists, then that'd be cool, I guess. If it happened, I never really thought it was ever going to happen. But it's happening, and pretty much the most interesting thing about this whole entire development, to me at least, is the fact that Jared Leto's Joker is going to be in it. I am in the severe minority because I actually like Jared Leto's Joker, and I kind of like Suicide Squad. If you hate Suicide Squad, I totally get it. I'm not going to turn this into a Suicide Squad movie review, but it was not as good as I wanted it to be, and the Joker was barely in it. But what I saw of the Joker in that movie, I thought was cool. I like Jared Leto's Joker. But it seems like it has a completely different tone from what we saw in the Snyder Cut trailer. We even got the We Live in a Society meme, which I thought was funny. And I like his new haircut. I like me some long hair. As far as Justice League is concerned, the actual theatrical cut that we did get, the one that we saw in theaters, I know a lot of people hate the version of Justice League that we got. I think it's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think it's okay. I think it's enjoyable. It does not even come close to the Avengers, because you had the Phase 1 movies leading up to Avengers, and of course, most of those movies were at least decent. Iron Man was great. I loved the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. And anyway, this is just turning into me rambling. I liked the build-up to the Avengers, and the Avengers was awesome. I liked some of the build-up to Justice League, but Justice League did not really feel... My biggest issue with the Justice League movie that we got is that it did not feel like a big event. The Avengers felt like a big event. Justice League, it was fine, but it just... The fact that a Justice League movie just was fine is just very underwhelming. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, for one, the movie was kind of short. It was like just around 2 hours. You had two different directors directing the movie, and which of course you can't really control that because of what happened to the reason why Zack Snyder had to step away. If you don't know, his daughter passed away while he was directing the movie, so he had to deal with the personal issues that came with that. So Joss Whedon took over, and he was uncredited as the co-director. Has a movie ever had I don't know if this has ever happened before. Probably, but it's weird to me, like having like a person step in halfway through a movie's direction and take over the reins because the other director left because of something that happened. It's very insane to me. So the way Justice League is, the way we got it, I really don't blame the movie, because they did the best with what they had because of, the change of the directors. So it did kind of make for a weird movie tonally. But the biggest thing missing to me with the Justice League movie that we got was the villain. Steppenwolf in the Justice League movie is so lame. His name is lame. He looks kind of lame. Everything about him screams henchman. Like, you can clearly tell that he's the middleman between the good guys and the main baddie. He's like when you fight a boss rush before you fight the final boss in a video game. No one cares about the boss rush. He's like the middleman, like the evil bad guy's number one henchman, and having that be the main antagonistic force of your big superheroes coming together for the first time in DC movie, that's kind of lame. But with the Snyder Cut, apparently they're going to flesh him out a little bit more, and they already, in the trailers, Steppenwolf looks absolutely terrifying. He looks awesome in these trailers, because they've made him bigger, just attached so many spikes to his armor that he looks ridiculous in the best possible way. So hopefully they make him more interesting, and they actually have Darkseid in the trailer, so Darkseid's going to be in the Snyder Cut. Not as the main villain, but as kind of like they're going to Thanos it, which I don't know if we're ever going to get a Justice League versus Darkseid movie. But you know how they had Thanos in some of the movies before Infinity War where they were teasing him? They're teasing Darkseid, but they're having Steppenwolf as the main bad guy in this movie. But they're giving Steppenwolf a massive upgrade. So, and apparently the Snyder Cut is going to be 4 hours long, but it's going to be released in 1 hour chunks, which honestly, I would love to watch a 4 hour long superhero movie. I loved Avengers Endgame. It was 3 hours long and it didn't feel like it. So I know a lot of people would probably not like that. Having to sit down for a 4 hour long movie, that's a lot to ask. But for me, I'd totally do it. I would totally do it. And it honestly gives me flashbacks of Batman vs. Superman, because I remember seeing the theatrical cut of Batman vs. Superman, and a very similar thing happened to it, where the original vision of the movie was cut down into a theatrical cut that hardly anyone liked. And then the Ultimate Edition, the extended cut, came out, and it was so much better. So, I don't know if the same thing's going to happen with Justice League, but it might. And even then, I still like the theatrical cut of Justice League that we got. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. But for a Justice League movie just being fine, that's kind of disappointing. But I am looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to the Justice League Snyder Cut. But that's enough of our small, minor topics for this edition of TAN. We are now going to move into our major topic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next for our major topic, just the one major topic, because remember, I changed the format of the show. It's interesting because on the previous TAN, I was wishing Marilyn Manson a happy birthday. It's only fitting that on this edition, he's the main topic, but not in a good way. For those of you that don't know, which I don't know how you don't know, because it's been all over the news and all over social media, Marilyn Manson has been accused by multiple people of sexual abuse, rape, torture, all kinds of bad stuff. So, and I do have thoughts and opinions on it, but I'm going to try to give a little context for people that might not have the full picture. Back in the mid-2000s, around mid-2000s to around 2003, at some point, Marilyn Manson married a woman named Dita Von Teese, who was a burlesque dancer. And she honestly served as the inspiration for his fourth studio album, The Golden Age of Grotesque, which just happens to be my least favorite Marilyn Manson album. So from that, they were together, and around 2007-ish, I might not have the dates exactly right, they broke up, which led to Marilyn Manson dropping his fifth album, Eat Me, Drink Me, which I think is severely underrated. But you can very much tell that it's the sad divorce breakup album, because pretty much every artist has that, like a sad breakup or sad divorce album. But the reason why I bring this up is because, funny enough, the main accuser of Marilyn Manson is a woman named Evan Rachel Wood. She okay, right off the bat is going to get into some uncomfortable territory. They started dating when Marilyn Manson was 36 and Evan Rachel Wood was 19. Right there, I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous. That is in my opinion, they should have never been together, because that age gap is too much. That is too much, in my opinion. That's like if I dated a 10-year-old. That's just weird. Or if I dated a 40-year-old. So the people that say age is just a number, disassociate from them. Remove them from your life. But good Lord. So, and again, a reason why I bring up Eat Me, Drink Me is because in one of the music videos for that album, the song Heart-Shaped Glasses, When the Heart Guides the Hand, the girl in the music video that is wearing the heart-shaped glasses is Evan Rachel Wood. And she apparently came up with the idea for them having sex in blood rain on a bed for that music video. So their relationship started around that point, and the next album Marilyn Manson released, The High End of Low, in 2009, was essentially his breakup album for, or like his toxic relationship period album, where he was having a little bit of a falling out with Evan Rachel Wood. Because in that, around this time, he like, some of this stuff is just insane. For one, he had a music video for a song on High End of Low, Running to the Edge of the World, where in the music video near the end, you see him beating up a blonde woman to the point of unconsciousness. And the woman resembles Evan Rachel Wood. Now, of course, this music video has never been played on airwaves, has never been mainstream like a lot of his other music videos. It has been universally panned and condemned for encouraging violence against women, which, understandably so, and I fully agree with that. It's a very uncomfortable video to watch. And I guess I'm just walking you through a timeline here. So, and they broke up, they got engaged, but then they broke up in about 2010. And several years after that, in 2019, I believe, Evan Rachel Wood was attending a hearing where they were trying to adjust sexual abuse laws in California, I believe it was. And she had a testimony about how she was with someone who psychologically and physically tormented her, a abusive ex-partner that she once had. And the way she was describing this person, everyone was like, oh, it's Marilyn Manson. And then a year later, Marilyn Manson came out with his most recent album, We Are Chaos. And all of a sudden on Twitter, everyone was like, this is who Evan Rachel Wood was talking about. He just came out with an album. It was pretty much hashtag cancel Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson's evil. Marilyn Manson's bad. Although she didn't come out and explicitly name him as her abuser. Well, this past year, actually like a couple weeks ago, and a lot of this is old news, I realize this, but it is it's interesting to me. And of course, since I am a huge Marilyn Manson fan, and I do a quasi-news show, I do want to talk about it. She came out and said that the person that I was talking about was Brian Warner, a.k.a. Marilyn Manson, and she accused him of, again, psychological abuse, rape, torture, a whole bunch of stuff. And you can look it up. Just look up Marilyn Manson, and these allegations are probably the first thing you're going to see. And after that, at least 11 other women came forward with, yeah, Marilyn Manson did this to me. Marilyn Manson did that. One woman was like, he tried to film up my skirt with a camera without my consent. This other woman, I can't remember her name, said he tried to take me to a room that he called his rape room. So a whole bunch of allegations came out. And Marilyn Manson's only response thus far was an Instagram post, which Marilyn Manson making an Instagram post is just the most hilarious thing in the world to me. He put on Instagram a statement that was pretty much everything that is being described are horrible distortions of reality. I'm known for being controversial, but everything that me and my partners did was purely consensual, which of course that's going to be a stance. And as far as any actual evidence, The accusers haven't really given any, at least that I'm aware of. So right now, it is merely a he said versus she said scandal or affair or whatever you want to call it. The issue is very much he said versus she said. And to Marilyn Manson's credit, I guess, or however you want to phrase it, both Rose McGowan, one of Marilyn Manson's ex-girlfriends, and Dita Von Teese, his ex-wife, came out and they said that they supported both people. They said, I had a very good experience with Marilyn Manson. It just didn't work out. He never abused me, but I stand behind the women that are accusing him. So they took a semi-neutral stance, but more leaning towards the women who were accusing Manson. Which I can understand. I mean, just because you weren't abused by someone, that doesn't mean he didn't abuse someone else. So I understand that position. And Marilyn Manson has been dropped by his manager. He has been dropped by one of the recording agencies or whatever that helped him promote and release We Are Chaos, and he's been dropped from a talent agency. So he is currently being dropped from several outlets. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that's gone on so far. Now, my thoughts on this whole thing. Again, it is he said versus she said. And there's not really any, tangible evidence either way to prove they're lying about this or he is an abuser. So, as far as right now, I'm not going to make a definitive, oh, he's guilty, or, oh, they're lying statement. I don't know what the truth is. I do not know what the truth is as far as these allegations are concerned. That said, I would not be surprised if the allegations were true. I am a huge Marilyn Manson fan. I love his music. I think he's insanely creative. And I love his look. Especially around the 1996 to 2003 period of his career, which is my favorites. Mechanical Animals is my favorite album of all time. With that said, he's a terrible person in real life, in my opinion. I'm a fan of Marilyn Manson. I am not a fan of Brian Warner. The dude has done some sketchy things in his life that we know of, that he's admitted to. He says and believes things that, there are some things that he does believe that I agree with, and some things that I don't agree with. But he's done some highly questionable things in his life. Like I mentioned earlier, making that video where he's beating the crap out of a blonde chick because he's mad at Evan Rachel Wood and he wants to send a message via a music video. That's, in my opinion, very uncomfortable and disgusting, and that right there, I would not be surprised if he actually abused her. And the dude, as intelligent as he is when it comes to his writing and his music, he's not known for making good life decisions. I mean, there was one concert where he just about passed out on stage and then started vomiting, and of course the excuse was, oh, he had the flu. I guarantee you he was hopped up on drugs and he was having some kind of reaction to that. Guarantee you. The dude went through, I don't know if he still is, but the dude has been into hard drugs. He's been into alcohol, heavy alcohol. So right there, not very good life choices. The dude has admitted to, there was an incident where he and some of his friends dug up a grave and smoked human bones. Now, he says that he regretted doing that, which, I mean, yeah, but why would you ever think smoking human bones is a good idea in the first place? I think as far as his music and his art, he is a genius. When it comes to life decisions, I think he's an idiot. I mean, smoking human bones, making a music video where he's beating the crap out of a blonde woman because he's mad about his relationship. Oh, and also when he was sued for dry humping a security guard at one of his at one of his concerts, which he pleaded no contest to and paid an undisclosed amount of money to this security guard. The dude's not known for making very good decisions. He's known for making very good music, just not very good personal decisions. So, I would not be surprised at all if he did the things that he was. And also, Evan Rachel Wood also accused him of racism and anti-Semitism and sexism, pretty much every ism in the book. Which I don't know about those. The sexism would not surprise me because some of his music and some of his music videos kind of objectify women in a certain kind of way. And it's just he does seem like the kind of heavy metal rocker who like goes to a strip club just to see naked women. He seems like that kind of person. And that does not really paint women in the best light, but that's how he sees women, or at least how he acts, or how I perceive that he sees women. So that would not surprise me. Now, as far as the racism allegations are concerned, I mean, to be fair, he has used the N-word in some of his songs. Like, he did a cover of Rock and Roll N-word, which is an old song, which they're not using the N-word in a racist, mocking way to denigrate and degrade African Americans. It's used in a different context. Same with in Irresponsible Hate Anthem when the lyric is everyone is someone else's N-word, and in that context he's saying everyone belongs to someone, which means like everyone is someone else's whipping boy. Which again, me personally, I probably wouldn't have elected to cover that song or use that word in a song. But again, I'm not Marilyn Manson, and I also don't smoke human bones. So, yeah, for me, a big Marilyn Manson fan, and I've been a big fan of his music for like over 2 years now. It's very difficult. All of this stuff coming out. It's not surprising, but it does make you go like, oh man, you never want to hear that like this famous person that you like or you like their work is actually a massive scumbag. Although, from the moment I heard of Marilyn Manson, I was already under the impression that he was a scumbag. So I'm not really surprised, but to this degree. But again, we don't know if these allegations are true or not. Plus, also, the sheer amount of people coming out with stories about Marilyn Manson being abusive. The more people that come out, the more it's like, all these people are coming out, and they're saying very similar things. So, I mean, at that point, if enough people come out, it's kind of hard to be on his side. He doesn't really have many points in his favor. I mean, he has a history of being a douche. He has a history of poor life decisions. And he doesn't exactly have a history of being a good person. And also, I'm not defending him when I say this. I'm not excusing him when I say this. Most famous people are terrible. Think of your favorite rock star. Think of your favorite band. Think of your favorite actor. Think of your favorite actress. Think of your favorite famous person that does whatever. Odds are, they're a terrible person in real life. Like, the first TA episode I did was about Minilad. Dude was one of my favorite YouTubers. Turns out, surprise, surprise, he's a massive scumbag who preys on younger women. But at the time, I didn't know Minilad was a scumbag, so it was very surprising. But with this, I'm just like, If these allegations are true, and he did do all these things, not only should he be punished, he should be arrested. If Marilyn Manson did these things that he's being accused of, he should be put in prison for the rest of his life. Now, if what I think it is, what I'm willing to bet is that some of the allegations are true, some of the allegations are exaggerations, and some of the allegations are lies. I feel like that's the most plausible scenario. I do not think that Marilyn Manson is completely 100% in the right. I do not think he's innocent. I find that very hard to believe. But I don't believe that everything these women are saying is true. But again, I have nothing to go on other than hearsay evidence. I have nothing to go on except claims and denials, and there has been no solid proof, is what I'm trying to say. And we live in a world that's becoming increasingly more and more and more cancel culture, guilty until proven innocent, which, in my opinion, it's wrong. You are innocent until you are proven guilty. That's the way it should work. Until Marilyn Manson is proven guilty, in my opinion, he's innocent. And I know that might piss some people off. I'm sorry. That's the way it works. Because what if he is innocent? And what if they are lying about him? And we hang him anyway. Then we just imprisoned an innocent person. We just ruined an innocent person's career. But what if they're not lying? And we don't imprison Marilyn Manson? This situation is very, very just. It's not easy. There's not an easy solution for this. And I don't know how we're going to get proof. I don't know how there's going to be proof. Unless they have recordings of the abuse taking place. And honestly, the best evidence right now that they have, that Evan Rachel Wood and her, I guess you could say, compatriots, the best evidence they have right now is like, remember that music video where he was pretending to beat the crap out of a blonde chick that looked like me? I would point to that if I was Evan Rachel Wood. I would point to that. And the interview where he was talking about how he fantasized. He did an interview in around 2009, 10, 11 or something like that, where he talked about how he often fantasized about smashing her skull in with a sledgehammer, which of course his manager or team or whatever, his spokespeople, his representative said, "Oh, that was just him being that was just a part of his act. He didn't really mean that. He was just trying to be this shocking, scary rock star where you never know what he's going to say. You expect the unexpected," which I can kind of buy that, but also you don't need to go to those extremes to shock people. There comes a point where you're just trying too hard. Like, making these albums and having crazy concerts is one thing. Going on interviews and talking about murdering people, that's something else. So, as far as me, if he is proven guilty, I hope he gets sent to prison. But if he is proven guilty, I will still enjoy his music. Again, you have to separate the art from the artist. I love the art. I think the artist is a horrible person. I think the artist is a stupid, confused person that I do not identify with whatsoever. His art is amazing. I love it. Two different things. So if he is found guilty, or if there is proof, or if there's just undeniable evidence, I will condemn him, but I will continue to listen to his music. I will continue to enjoy his music. And that's never going to change. That's never going to change. And that's the way it should be for like all of art. You shouldn't just immediately throw away someone's entire life's work just because the person themselves happens to be a terrible person. If we did that, then most of the movies ever made and most of the music ever made would be thrown in the garbage can. Most of everything you like would have been gotten rid of by now if we did that. But if it turns out, again, I think the most logical scenario is some of the allegations are true, some of the allegations are false, some of the allegations are exaggerations or contortions of reality. I feel like it's a mixed bag of truth, lies, and exaggerations. I don't feel like it's 100% true. I don't feel like it's 100% false. I think it's somewhere in the middle. Which still is unacceptable. I mean, I absolutely 100% believe that Marilyn Manson would try to film a girl up her skirt without her consent. I do not have any trouble. The dude smoked human bones. I would not be surprised. I would be surprised if it turned out to be true that he raped Evan Rachel Wood and tortured her, hit her. I would be a little surprised at that. But again, so those are my thoughts on the entire Marilyn Manson Evan Rachel Wood controversy. What do I hope happens? Honestly, I don't know. I hope that the truth, whatever the truth may be, comes to light. If Marilyn Manson is innocent, I hope that truth is brought to light. If Marilyn Manson is guilty, I hope that truth comes to light. But until then, we just don't know. And we may never know. The truth may never have its day. So, it's an unfortunate situation, but those are my thoughts on it. And that's pretty much everything that's happened so far. So yeah, that is all I have for our major topic, and now we're going into channel updates and other news and stuff like that. Alright, so this part's going to be pretty light because a lot of the things that are going on that I want to announce, I don't really want to be in this video because I want the things that I've talked about prior to be the focus of this video, and putting this at the end will kind of cheapen what else I want to say as far as news and updates is concerned. Basically, tomorrow I'm doing a post-TAW elevation update video where I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff like what I'm going to be doing next on the channel, other upcoming projects that I'm working on, and stuff like that. Plus, for those of you that don't know, I was in a vehicular accident on Thursday, this past Thursday, and I'm okay, but there is a bit of a story behind it. And actually, tomorrow I'm recording this TAN episode on a Monday. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, I'm going to be interviewed by my friend Sean McCarty on the Court Martial podcast, where it's going to be like a Josh Ugeddon tells all about my accident. And after that, I'm going to do an episode of TAP, my podcast, where I go into more detail, more in depth about my accident. So you're going to get two perspectives of me talking about my accident. It's going to be on the Court Martial podcast, and it's going to be right here on YouTube and Spotify on my podcast. So be looking forward. And after that, I'm on Wednesday or Thursday or something like that, I'm going to do a TAW recap video where I'm going to recap the Elevation pre-show and the Elevation show itself. And I'm also be looking forward to some more Yeet Dream Team videos. I have some Yeet Dream Team videos planned. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys here today. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.